Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is the Craft and Sparrow YouTube channel. Most of the time I just do a monthly catch up on what I've been crafting for the month, but I saw this trend. It happens every year. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Where people talk about all the things they made in the year prior. So I wanted to just like sit down and write out all the stuff that I've made. I wasn't really planning on making a video for it. But when I wrote out all the stuff that I made, I wasn't expecting it to be that many items and to have so many items that I enjoyed a lot, both creating and wearing. So I really wanted to actually make a video for it for you guys after I wrote it all out. It was really interesting going back and actually flipping through this journal that I have for all my crochet and knitting projects, and seeing how much like physical space it took up. I think it started at page 107, so like that much page space of, some of that is my Crafting and Sparrow show and tell notes, but that's a big chunk of my journal for this year. And so I thought it was worth having my own version of this, like 2023 wrap up or overview of what I've crafted this year or this past year. And yeah, so I thought for this video I will do a quick like stat overview so you guys get an idea of like this, like the base numbers of what I've done so far. And then I'll just do a more like in-depth talk about specific projects that I wore a lot or thought deserved a quick little look on the project overview video. So yeah, if you're interested in that, get cozy and throw me on in the background. That's what I've been doing with these videos on YouTube, is just like listening to somebody ramble on about what they've created in the past year. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get started. So as I said, I will be talking about like the stats of what I've done so far. And yeah, so total FOs, finished objects, is 26. That means, so I think at least one of them was actually cast on in 2022, which is my field day jacket. I will get into that in a minute, but I technically finished that one in 2023. So starting with that one all the way up to anything that I finished before 2024 is 26 projects. That's anywhere from sweaters to socks to wall decor, things like that. It's a pretty big number, and I haven't actually gone back and counted how many things I finished in previous years, which would be a really cool like comparison, like how much I knitted this year compared to the previous years. So I'll definitely be doing this from now on, whether or not I make a video for it, just so I can have my own like baseline idea of how many things I knit / crochet. And that's actually not including sewing as well, or cross stitch, which are also fiber crafts that I like to do and have done in the past year. I think I did at least 2 sewing projects, which if you're new here, those were corsets. And I finished 2 cross stitch projects as well. So that's not even included in that number. So if you include those, it's 30. Works in progresses that I have at the end of the year are 4, and one of those is like a long-term thing. Actually, I didn't include my beekeeper's quilt in that number, so technically it would be 5. Yeah, because one of them is a sweater project that I started forever ago, and it's just not bringing me joy, but I have the yarn to use it, and I don't know what else to use that yarn for. And it's just sitting in a basket that's down there that is like my abandoned project. Yeah, so that's that. And then the rest of them are new projects that I will be talking about in my next show and tell episode, which I'll record later in January. I have to make sure that I'm standing back because my head will get cut off. So bear with me. Yeah, so there's that, and then I did 4 gift knits. 2 projects of that number, of the finished object number, were self-drafted, so I didn't follow any kind of pattern. 3 of those numbers are repurposed projects, and I actually have a video dedicated specifically for those 3 projects. But basically what that means is I had an old project that I finished, and I decided that I just wasn't getting use out of it, so I ripped the yarn back and repurposed it into something that I will enjoy more. And it was a huge success because the garment that I made out of that repurposed yarn I wear all the time, and the other 2 things I made out of it are like home decor items that I love just like looking over and glancing at. So huge win for that one this past year. And then one of those projects was a reworked project, which just means I liked the object that I had made previously. There were just a few things I needed to tweak. So started out with I'll just say it was a ranunculus. I started out with a ranunculus that I made in the year before. Didn't necessarily like the fit, but liked the project with the yarn, so I ripped it back a certain amount, and actually I think I just completely just reknit the ranunculus with that yarn, so that's a rework project. So that's like basic what I have done with my time. Now I'm going to get into specifics of what kind of garments and accessories and stuff that I made from those numbers. 8 of them were sweaters / cardigans. 2 of them were what I would consider as like tees, like t-shirts, like summertime stuff. 3 of those were beanies. 4 of them were bralettes. 3 of them were vests, and 2 of them were house decor items. 2 of them were socks, and there was 1 shawl. That's, when you break it down into like numbers of specific types of objects, it's interesting to step back and look at not only the diversity of different projects that you've made. For instance, I didn't realize that I had made more than just like vests and sweaters. Like, you think about knitting or crochet, well, mostly knitting, you think about knitting as like a sweater crafting. For me, I think of it as like a way to create sweaters or like warm objects. But when I look at this list, I'm like, I've created a good variety of different types of projects, which is interesting. And then when you look at like the number next to all these different types of projects, you're like, I didn't make very many of each though. I guess when you add them up. Anyway, this is all obvious statements. It's just, I didn't plan any kind of dialogue in this video. I just wrote down like projects that I wanted to talk about. So this is all just me rambling as usual. If you're a returning viewer, you know this is how I roll. So yeah, that's kind of like the statistics, the totals of the breakdown of what I've made. I'm going to show you like, because I'm not going to show you, am I going to show you everything that's on this pile on this? I have a pile of everything that's not gift knit on my ottoman here. I'm trying to debate on whether I'm going to show you everything. I might show you the objects, but I might not try on everything, if that makes sense. And disclaimer, this was not knit in 2023, what I'm wearing. This is like the only thing that I have that is like tight fitting, that I can put like sweaters and t-shirts over and it don't look funny. This is hand knit by me. It's the camisole number 5 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, I think. It's the 2x2 ribbing with the whatever construction this is. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm gonna hop into trying on / showing you all the things that I've made. This might take a really long time. Originally, I just planned on showing you like the highlights, the ones that I really, really, really like. But I think I will just show you all of it. So buckle up. I do have it in kind of a chronological order, so that should be interesting. First up is my field day jacket. And I'm not going to go into much about each of these. I'm just going to show it to you, and then I'm going to tell you the pattern designer and the yarn I used and like some special notes that I have. And because I do take good notes sometimes, I wrote down the page number for each of these projects, so I'm not flipping through pages trying to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so like I said, this is the Field Day jacket by Ozetta. I used Patton's Classic Wool Merino in the colorway Bottle Green, knit size medium. So I'll just say those stats for this. I wear this thing all the time. This cardigan kind of went through a scary phase when I finished it. It just grew like a shite ton. And I was really sad. So I put it in the dryer, didn't watch it close enough, and it felted a little bit. At first I was sad, because the word felting on accident, like felting when you want it is good, obviously, but if you felt something that you didn't want to be felt, it's instantly like, crap, I have ruined this piece, and there's no going back from a felted item. But it turns out that I actually really like it. I can't show you the full length of it because the setup that I have here, but it goes down like mid-thigh. It's the perfect length. The arms are the perfect length. I don't have to pull it up or anything like that. It's right at my wrist, and like I don't know, everything about it is just sized good after I accidentally felted it. I have just one button that I just put right there. It's a snap button. It stays on my shoulder. It's honestly a really good sweater. Highly recommend it. Just don't use yarn. Maybe gauge swatch. I don't know if I actually gauge swatched this or not. I can't remember. I don't know why it grew more than I expected, because I'm pretty sure I gauge swatched. Maybe I didn't block the gauge swatch. I don't know. Anyway, I like the sweater. I wear it all the time. It felts like crazy because it pills like crazy because it felted, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's the yarn. I don't really care. It's kind of just a throw on at home or to like the grocery store. It's not something big and fancy. It's comfy. It's very, very warm. Yeah, so highly recommend this. Probably one of my most worn garments that I made from last year. Yeah, so yeah, Field Day jacket. Okay, next is, so I have some bralettes, and I think I will try on 2 of them. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Nurture bralette. I don't think I'm going to try this one on for you guys. I don't think. Here it is. And this was by 11. Nurture bralette is by Celine Feyten, and I knit the size 3. There's a lot. This is a very, very size inclusive pattern. There was a lot of adjusting for your size specifically, so there's that. And I knit this out of Knit Pictorial Jackrabbit Heather colorway. I honestly don't wear this that much, but it's got this really pretty lace motif on it. Oh, it's definitely inside out. Hold on. It's like little leaves on it. And it's got like a twisted rib on the side. Yeah. So this was a nice bra. I honestly don't wear it that much. I have some modified bralettes that I made later in the summer season that are worn a lot more. Not now that it's wintertime, but in the summertime I wore them a lot. So I'll get into those. I just wanted to show you that this was one of the bralettes. And the next one is, I'm going chronological, so I'll get to those bralettes in a minute. The next finished object that I really, really, really liked this year was my Kettle River cardigan. This is by Winter's Weather Knits. I knit it in Hobby's Arezzo. I don't have a colorway for that. And I knit the size medium. And here it is. I wore this all the time in the summer. I think Arezzo is a linen cotton blend. I think, don't quote me on that. It's really wrinkly. It's really wrinkly because I haven't worn it in a long time. And it's linen, so if it's folded up, rolled up, wherever you're storing it, it's gonna go to that form. You gotta like steam block it and stuff. But oh my goodness, it's so comfortable. It's the right oversizedness. It's very, very long. It covers my butt. So like I wore it to the beach this past summer over my bathing suit. I like the length of the short sleeves. I don't know what else to say. It's just wonderful. One of my most worn knits for summertime. So, love this one. Okay. Next I'll show you one of my t-shirts. This is the Perfect Knit t-shirt by Kaitlin Barthold, and I knit this out of Spa, a silky soft bamboo blend, colorway berry frappe. Here it is. It's just a simple raglan t-shirt. I'll put it on. It has I-cords, edging everywhere. Honestly, I didn't wear this as much as I think I should have. This kind of deserved more love than it got. And I think it's because this yarn is just a little bit too warm for summer. I think I would definitely have worn it more if it was knit in something a little less warm. But I love the color. It's just kind of oversized. I love the sleeve length and that much positive ease on my sleeve. Only thing is, obviously, I'm not really a big fan of the wide neck. This tank top is not necessarily the best thing to wear with it because it is so close to the neck. If I was just wearing my bra, you wouldn't really be able to tell the straps very easily and it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But anyway, this is all about like honesty and reviews of what I've knit. So honestly, didn't really wear it that much. It is what it is. It's still cute, in my opinion, so I keep it around. That is one of my t-shirts. Next up, okay, so this is the bralettes, and I think I am going to try on at least one of them, because I made two. But I'll show them to you first. One of them, so this is the Aphrodite bralette by SOPI Knits. Not a very size inclusive pattern. I bought it 2 years ago or so, and knit one. And I liked it. It fit me. I am privileged enough to say that I was able to knit it because of my size, allowed for it. I definitely modified these though. So honestly, the only thing that really considers this the Aphrodite bralette is just like the shaping up here, like this part of it, like the decrease rates and stuff. But everything else I modified lengthwise and yarn gauge and all that stuff. So it's really only the Aphrodite bralette by decreasing, just like the decreasing rates for the actual like this part of it. Anyway, I made two of them. One of them was out of Knitting Merino's Cotton Merino blend. I don't remember. I don't have the colorway. I think this is like charcoal or something like that. And then this is the same one as my Nurture bralette, Knit Pick Stroll Jackrabbit Heather. So I'm gonna put on this one because I wore this one so much and I love it. Hold on. It's a little loose, but it is really nice and sturdy. And I think that's to do with the yarn. It's really nice and sturdy on the straps, and it's really breathable and just comfy to wear. I wore it around the house even without a bra because why the hell not? And I loved it. I loved it during the summertime. And it was so cute with my Kettle River cardigan. And I'm gonna put it on for you guys because I think it's a good little image of my summertime with my knits this past year. Like, that's so cute, right? I love it. This is what I wore like a bunch during this past summer. Not the jeans. I think I wore like leggings or shorts or something with them. But it's even cute with the jeans though, to be honest. Yeah, so those are those two bralettes. And I might just keep, actually might just keep this bralette on for the rest of the video because, yeah, I like it. Next up was my Ranunculus that I reworked. And I think pretty much what I did, I don't know if I made a video or maybe it was in one of my show and tell episodes. Pretty much what I did was just make the gauge smaller and then make it more cropped. And I had ribbing on the bottom here. Didn't do ribbing for the rework. I just did an I-cord bind off. And I can try this on too. Because who doesn't love a good ranunculus? I love it. This yarn was Araucania Yarns Hosco Cotton. It's I don't know how to pronounce any of that. I bought this a really long time ago at a local yarn store near my sister's. Yeah, so highly like it. I highly recommend it. I really like it. Yeah. I don't know what the sizing was because this pattern has gone through so many revisions that I don't even know which version I used, to be honest. Okay. So that's that. Yep. Alright, and I think that this next one's like my last summer knit project. And it is the Naughty But Nice cardigan, or I guess you could call it a cardigan. I added it to the cardigan category in my stats. Make sure this is the right way. Yeah. And so this was just a cute little throw over a lacy, like short sleeve cardigan, very cropped. I was planning on wearing it with dresses. And oh, it's by Unwind Knitwear. And I use Knit Pick Stroll Gradients Hollow Greens as the colorway. And I still have a whole cake of this stuff. Like, this is the reason why I made this, was to use some of this yarn. It's one of those yarns, again, that's just never ending. So yeah, I didn't really wear this that much. Like I said, I planned on wearing this over like dresses and stuff. I only have like maybe a handful, I think like 3 dresses, and I only really wear one of them. So just like the odds of wearing that dress alone and then wearing this that dress with this over it was just a low probability, I guess you could say. Lucy's scratching at her scratching post. Sorry if you hear that. So yeah, that's why I didn't wear this, but it was mostly fun to make. There was one specific lace like repeat that was not very fun to make. Just kind of pushed through it, honestly. Not really enjoying it, but some of the motifs were really fun to make. But for that reason, I would say maybe it's not for you if you're like me when it comes to specific stitches. And it's not that I'm against lace. I like lace. It was just that specific stitch. It was like a knot stitch or something like that. I don't know. Didn't have fun with it. So, okay, that's that one. And, oh, my next one was one of my favorite makes this year too. It's the Blair vest, which was my garment that I made with the repurposed yarn. And this is by Irene, one of my favorite designers. It's cuter with a t-shirt underneath it, I'll say that. But oh my gosh, I love this pattern so much. So this was the yarn I repurposed. It was We Are Knitters Pima Cotton in the colorway Copper. And the black is just some stash worsted weight black yarn I had. I think it was like a silk blend. And I made the size 2 with this. And I love it. Like I said, it's way cuter with a t-shirt underneath. But like the weight of the cotton, and it's so soft, and it's the perfect amount of oversize. That's the one thing about Irene Lynn's patterns that I love so much, is her positive ease recommendation is spot on for me. Like, I'm so confident in my size picking with her patterns. Like, it's so refreshing. So, yes, probably top 3 knit item. No, I shouldn't spit that out without actually thinking about it. Top 5 knitted item this year, which, with how many I finished, that's pretty good. So yeah, I really like this one. The other 2, next up in like chronological order, are the home decor items that I made with this repurposed yarn. There was a plant hanger, which is over there out of frame, and well, I can show you the other thing. It's just a wall art thing. It's actually really hard for you to see. There you go. Lucy! Oh my goodness! And I got a water oak stick that I fed through it. Because I love water oak. That right there is hanging up with a water oak stick as well. So yeah, that was one of my home decor items. And when I grabbed that, I actually forgot one of my projects in my stat block, because I didn't actually write it down in my notebook, is the Penelope kerchief, right? I didn't write it down in my notebook because it was such a small, quick project. That happens sometimes. This was really fun to make, actually. Just like a little side note, I actually did it right around the time that I'm talking about, like chronologically. I knit it around the same time. This is actually the same yarn as this, so. But I really like this project. I do plan on making more. It's just more of a summer thing, and I'm saving it for the summertime to make. So, highly recommend this. It's free. I'm gonna look up who it's made by and put it on the screen, so you know. But it's on Ravelry. Lucy, what are you playing? She just tore off a piece of. Oh my god, Lucy. She just tore off a piece of the window. You fighting your demons right now? Yeah. Go fight your demons. Okay. So moving on, I think next I have the Summer's Secret Crop by Jessie Made Designs. It's actually in the punishment drawer of things that I don't necessarily want to think about. It's not that I don't like the design. I actually really like it a lot. It's just that I had planned on ripping back the bottom hem and making it longer. And I really don't want to do that, but I'll show it to you. It's made with the same yarn from that t-shirt thing I did. The perfect knit t-shirt design. So yeah, this is the Summer Secret Crop by Jessie Made Designs. And I'm at this size. Okay, I think I set out to make the size medium, but I did a bunch of crazy alterations with the stitch count. It's size medium-ish. Yeah. I won't try it on. It's just a little crop thing, so. Back to the punishment bin. Never to be seen again. Okay, oh, okay. This next one is my Musselburgh hat. I've made one, I think I've made 2 before this one, but this specific one that I made this year is my favorite beanie I've ever made. Because it actually fits, it's slightly tight, and the yarn is really nice. I made it with my leftover knitting for olive merino and the colorway marzipan. Here it is. It fits so snug and perfectly. Oh my god, I've worn this so many times this year. It doesn't get more basic and perfect than this when it comes to beanies. So I have one on my needles right now. I'm not supposed to talk about it until my show and tell episode, so I love this pattern. Highly recommend. It is by Ysolda Teague, I think. It's a pretty popular pattern, so I'm sure you've heard of it. But if you haven't, it's highly recommended. It is just a tube. It's a tube. And it's so fun to make. It's mindless. I taught myself how to read and knit with this specific hat, and it was really nice. Actually, I take that back. I knit my Aphrodite bralette, this one, while I was teaching myself how to read and knit. But I am reading and knitting with the one I'm making now, so love that one. Oh, and I had the gauge 8, by the way, for that, and I knit it in a 2mm needle, and I made the adult small size. Okay, so now we're getting into, I actually don't have dates on this. I think this was like October, September, October time. And I made these socks here. This was one of the self-drafted patterns. I have the Vogue Stitch Dictionary book, and they have a stitch pattern called Garter Cubes. And so I just started, I like doing socks toe up. So I did a little toe, and then I followed the garter cube pattern for the top of the foot, stockinette for the bottom, short row heel. This is just like my favorite go-to sock, like grocery list, toe up. Excuse me, hold on. Talking for a long time is not fun sometimes. Whew. Okay, as I said, toe up, stockinette at the bottom, ribby pattern at the top, short row heels, and Lucy! She is really fighting her demons today. Yeah. It's a sock. I think it's a 48 stitch, I think. Because it is knitting for all of merino and knitting for all of silk mohair together, so it's a little bit of a thicker, probably a DK sock. It's more of slippers for me, honestly. In my opinion, I don't really wear them in shoes and my boots. I just throw them on when I want to wear like fuzzy slipperish type socks. So I haven't really worn them too much, but I do like them. So there was those. Next up, we have, it was a gift knit. I did the Ollie's Everyday Slipover for my nephew. Don't have that show. It was a gift knit. And okay, so next I have my other vest, which is another Irene Lynn shocker pattern. I love her vests. Did it for you. This is the Laura vest. I wanted to do something very cable-y. And it is moss stitch and cables, so it was kind of perfect. I didn't wear this one as much as I ought to have, and I think it was because the color. Again, looks way better with t-shirt on or long sleeve. So just picture my arms not being bare. But yeah. Again, perfect positive ease. I love the back panel most of all. Because it's got that little cable on it, and I just love it so much. Yeah. I think I knit the size 2 again. God, now she's fighting my other cat. Yeah. No, I knit size 3 this time for this one. And this was just with some, I love this cotton, which is a Hobby Lobby brand, colorway khaki. I'm going to be completely transparent here. I bought that yarn because it was on sale, and I made this for like $12 worth of yarn, which is a steal. And if you are looking for good cotton that is affordable, it's there. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's peeling a little bit and I haven't really worn it too much, but it's held up pretty nicely and it's a nice like weight. Like the cotton has a little bit extra weight to it. It hasn't stretched really that much and it's soft. So that's just my input. Take it or leave it. I like this one though. I need to wear it more. Okay, so next we have one of my biggest flops, I guess you could say, for 2023 sweaters. It's the Rooibos sweater. I have some thoughts on this. So I wouldn't usually put this on to show you because I've literally never worn it ever since I made it. So that says volumes. But I'm going to try it on so I can explain myself. I actually don't know if I talked about why I don't like it in the show and tell episode after I made it. But here it is. I added the stripes. The pattern doesn't call for stripes. It's a free pattern, so. The yarn, I think, is one of the reasons why I don't like it. It is Red Heart Chic Sheep for the blue, and then Red Heart Foolish Sheep for the white. And I made the size 3. Try it on. Okay. So first things first, the neck situation. It's a little high. Actually, I put this on, I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. Wait a second. Wait, why do I love this and I haven't even worn it? What was going through my mind? The reason why I thought I hated it is like the length of the raglan. I thought it was too low, but I actually kind of love it. Now I feel bad for neglecting the sweater. Okay, I am still not a fan of the neck like crinkling up there, but wait, this is hella cute. Okay, so I was wrong. I actually like this a lot. I think part of it was influenced by the fact that I didn't enjoy the process of using this yarn. It was abundant in places that I had to break and retie. It was ridiculous how many times I had to break the yarn and retie the knot. It was so frustrating. So maybe that just kind of gave me a bad taste for it, and so like I kind of gave the sweater a unnecessarily bad vibe. Oops. Well, just another reason why I'm glad I did this video format. Yes, so that was the Rooibos by Amy Christoffers. I probably left off some designer names this whole video. I'm sorry. It'll always be down here somewhere or somewhere in the bottom and in the description box, as per usual. I'm just, maybe it took me looking at it in a video. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop doing that. Stop talking about the same sweater for way too long. Boys and girls, we are in peak sweater season at this point. It is late October, early November. I have got good reason to use woolly wools, staying warm because it's finally cold outside, and I've got the itch for some sweaters. Right off the bat, bang, did the Baroque Nouveau. Let me put it on. I love this sweater so much. Top, probably I'm gonna say it, my favorite thing I made this past year. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because it's color work. I'm gonna show it to you in a second, I promise. It's color work. The yarn is lush, fantastic, and the fit is immaculate. What else? The pattern is amazing, and I think that's all you can really... I enjoyed making it. It's great. And it turned out cute. So this is the Baroque Nouveau by Rachel Ilsley or Unwind Knitwear. And also, when I did this in my podcast episode, thank you so much for the people that told me how to pronounce Baroque Nouveau. Because I was struggling with that. So now I know how to pronounce it. Okay, I'm going to put it on. I love this so much. Oh my gosh. The yarn is so buttery smooth. Sorry, plant. Oh my gosh. Isn't it glorious? I love it so much. It's so pretty. Okay, alright. I made this out of Harriet Fine by Juniper Moon Farms. It is a baby alpaca nylon blend, I think. Pretty sure. And oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's not much to say because like all you have to do is look at it to know how wonderful it is. I have worn this so much since I only finished it like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe not even. But even so, it hasn't really pilled like barely at all. Yarn, fantastic. Pattern, fantastic. I love it. I love it. Okay. Favorite pattern of 2023. Hands down. And this was the exact outfit I wore to the Georgia Aquarium when my husband and I went over Christmas break. So it says a lot that I wore something to a very like special but also kind of like physical activity. There's a lot of walking and getting really hot in an aquarium, you know. I was still able to wear this comfortably. And I picked it out. I picked out a special item for a special day. So that speaks volumes in my opinion. Okay. The next thing I made was my one and only shawl for the year. And it was also out of Juniper Moon Farms, but this was the color, or the yarn-based Moonshine. And it is the Hedgewitch shawl by Wolf and Fawn Knits. She's a biggin'. She's a big girl. And I haven't worn her as much as she deserves love. Haven't worn her as much as she deserves because I don't really wear shawls all that much. I have, including this one, a total of 4 in my knitted wardrobe. And one of them is just the warmest thing I own. And I do wear a scarf / shawl in the mornings when I get in my car to go to work. And I picked that one over any of my other ones because it's just the warmest thing. So maybe I just need to throw this over my shoulder while I'm at home and give it love at home at least, because it's so pretty and comfy and soft and it's a really nice weight. I highly recommend the pattern. I just haven't used it that much, if I'm being honest. But it's very pretty. That's actually the back. Whoops. Yeah. Okay. So yes. Okay, so my next thing is another sweater, which turned out to be kind of a dilemma at one point. Not the sweater I'm about to show you, but the sweater was supposed to be. I had talked all about it, I think on my last podcast, or show and tell, whatever you want to call it. If not the last one, the one before. I think it was the last one. But all turned out great. I love the end result, and I am going to put it on for you because this is another one of my top 5 makes. I like sweaters, it's obvious, but even though I like sweaters, some sweaters aren't as glorious as of a finished object as other things. Like that Musselburgh hat is one of my favorites too, and I don't really make or wear beanies, so it says a lot. So anyway, I'll try on this. It's the Seaway pullover by Ozetta. Turned out glorious. Another one of my most worn knits that I have made this year. Again, I've only had it for like 2-ish months. So, but that being said, it has worn really well. It's easy to throw on. The yarn is holding up, which by the way, it is Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud, which is 100% baby alpaca in the colorway Jane, held double with Knitty Nakabi's Corduroy, which is a merino, mulberry, silk, and alpaca blend. Yarn's held up great. It's a nice like warmth. It's breathable but still warm. Unless you're not good with alpaca, in which case obviously it's not going to be very comfortable if you're not good with alpaca. I don't know what's flying around in my room today, but it is making me suddenly have to cough violently. Anyway, if you are sensitive to alpaca, obviously this wouldn't be very comfy, but my skin personally is very good with alpaca compared to like a mohair or something. So, really like this. I made the size large, and this was one of those cases where I finished the object before blocking and I was like kind of disappointed, and then I blocked it and it made all the difference. So, Seaway pullover by Ozetta. Highly recommend it. It's fun if you want just a little bit of cabling. It makes this really subtle little detail. There were a couple people in my family, because I wore it for Thanksgiving, that were like, how did you get it to do that effect? And of course they're not knitters, so like they don't understand how easy it is. It's just a cable cross and a certain ratio. It's literally so easy, but it does a lot visually. So, really cool. I like this one. It has grown a bit, in my opinion, since I have been wearing it. Just a little bit. It's not like exaggerated though. The sleeves are still a good length. So, yeah. I'm almost done, honestly. I have a so we're getting into what I have as work in progress that I'm going to show you in my next show and tell, not here. So I got a blanket. Actually no, I showed you guys a little piece of, it's the Starflower blanket. If you watched my last show and tell episode, you know what the little tiles look like, but I've pieced it together a little bit since then, so I'm excited to show you guys that in my next show and tell. But next sweater was a gift, but I actually can show it to you because it was a gift knit from my husband. Oh, why am I taking this off? Actually, I'm curious to see what it looks like on me. I'll show it to you before I put it on. It's the Foliage Sweater by Anna Joanna, and it's for my husband, so I made the size medium 2, and this is using Knit Picks palette. It turned out so cute. Make sure I'm looking at the front here. Yeah. And it looks so cute on my husband. I love it. I'll put it on just to see how oversized it is. Me and him aren't really that big of a difference in size, so it'll probably just look like a little oversized compared to what I usually wear. But I think it turned out really nice. I was itching for some Knit Picks palette color work, and oh, this is actually really cute on me. I might be wearing this. He won't wear it as much as it deserves, so I have to also wear it, right? Oh, I love Knit Picks palette. I love it. Pattern was fun. enjoyable, basic. It's just a colorwork yoke construction. It has this really nice corrugated ribbing on the sleeves and on the neck, and the bottom is just basic ribbing. So I'm definitely wearing this. There's no way I'm not wearing this. Tal would just have to get over it. I made it, so you can't say anything. And then my last thing I have to show you is my other pair of socks that I made. And so, not this Christmas we just had, but the one before, I did a yarn advent calendar from River Kelly of A Knitter's Homestead. And I had this Christmas Day sock yarn base that I had not used yet. So pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. And so I decided that I would save it for this past Christmas to knit a pair of socks on during the season. And here they are. And this is the other self-drafted pattern. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not a self-drafted pattern. It's technically the Brenda's basic toe-up socks, which is, honestly, it's a free pattern. It's literally the most basic sock. It's toe-up. You know, I talked about it earlier. Toe-up sock, stockinette bottom. I think this is a 3x2 ribbing. Short row heel. Actually, I think Brenda's sock pattern is a heel flapping gusset, but I really like the way short row heels fit on me. And then I just do the ribbing for the leg here. And I made these extra long. Actually, I think what I did was I measured out how many rows, I counted how many rows this part was, and then I just duplicated it for the leg part as well. And it turned out to be kind of a long sock, which is what I wanted, so I can wear them with my Blundstone boots. Yeah, these are great. I love them. I've worn them quite a bit already, and the yarn's holding up pretty nicely. There's a little bit of felting going on the bottom of the foot, which is to be expected, but the yarn's doing great, so yeah. Love these. And I think that is all the stuff I can show you. Technically, I also made a self-drafted beanie for my mom. I didn't talk about it earlier, but I made my mom the Cabin Life cardigan by, shoot. Let me see if I can find it, because I want to credit the designer, because it was a really pretty pattern. I'll put it right here. It was the Cabin Life cardigan. I made it for my mom, and I had a skein left of the yarn, which was Knit Picks. Can't remember. It was a Worst Weight Superwash Merino base. I had a skein left of it, and so she had mentioned wanting a matching beanie earlier when I had, like, close to the time that I finished the cardigan, and so I told her I would make a beanie out of whatever yarn, if I have enough yarn left over, and I did. So I made her a beanie just from, like, what I know about beanie construction top down, and I used the same cable motif that was in the cardigan all around the beanie. Don't have a picture to put up for you guys or anything, but that was another thing that I made, and I think that is all the things that I had actually finished. Oh, no, there's one more thing. I threw everything that I had talked about on top of it, so I forgot. This is another gift knit for my husband. It's the Constega beanie by Merciful Farms, and this is with Red Heart Full of Sheep. The main color is Little Lamb, the white. The yellow is Honeycomb, and the red is Poppy. I think the only I'm talking about something that I'm going to show on the show and tell us. Yeah, a little spoiler alert. Here it is. I did finish it in 2023, so it's a little big for me, but it's still cute. I'll talk more about it in my next show and tell, so you'll see more of it there if you're interested. I think that's it though. Overall, great great crafting year. Again, I want to know how it compares to my previous years. I could go back and try and figure out where years stopped and started. I got this book in 2018? Oh, 2020? Yes. The first project recorded was in 2020. And that was my first sweater that I made. So this is a record of basically my entire knitting journey. So I could go back and see like how much I made each year. But there is some stuff that I like don't record down in my journal because it's just like a really quick project. It's kind of just like a stash buster. I just don't feel, honestly, it's just laziness, I guess. It's like I could probably finish this so fast that, I mean, I guess it'd be worth writing it down. That's something I should probably do in 2024 is no matter how small the project, write it down in the journal because it's nice to see numbers like that for something that you spend so much of your time doing in your life. Yeah, so there's not very many pages left in this book. I don't know exactly how many, but I guess probably front and back, like maybe 20 pages. So I'll have to get a new book, which is exciting because I've had this one. It's functionally been used for 3 years. Yeah. So thank you for listening and dealing with my rambling as usual. And I hope this was nice to just throw on in the background and kind of get an idea of what kind of knitting I'm into, what kind of crafting I'm into. And if you enjoyed my content, you can subscribe and get alerted, or just my content will pop up every month. Like I said, I do a monthly show and tell. I talk about more than knitting and crochet. Sometimes I also talk about cross-stitching and sewing, and I recently got into diamond art stuff. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, stick around. Like the video if you liked it, and if you want to see more of me in between all these videos, I do have an Instagram. I'm semi-regular posting on there. It is the Crafting Sparrow with underscores between the words on Instagram. And I have a Ravelry, but I don't really use it for more than just like pattern searching and buying patterns. But that stuff's all in the description box below if you're interested. My email is also down there if you have any questions or you want to just like chat or whatever. That is open for that. And yeah, I'm really excited for 2024. I don't have plans. I know a lot of people do like their make 9 or something like that. If you know me for the past couple of years, you know that I don't really do that because I have no flipping clue what I want to make for the upcoming year. My projects are very specific to what I'm feeling in the moment. I know I want to make cables, so I look at cable patterns and then I buy the yarn for whatever pattern that speaks to me. So that's kind of how I do things, and I don't see that changing in 2024. So we'll just ride along on the journey together in the upcoming year, and I hope you stick around and hope you have a wonderful upcoming year as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next show and tell episode. Take care. Bye. That was crinkly paper. That was very loud for my last little sound bite. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's Tyler's sweater. Oh god, she scratched it. Oh no.